Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a mock draft, but a 2-round mock draft. So I'm going to be doing these picks faster. The second round's going to be very fast, and the first round's going to be faster than I usually do it. So let's get into it. The first pick, the tight ends, it looks like they're not going to draft a quarterback. I always have them going quarterback. I'm having to switch it up. I'm going to have a dual quarter out of Penn State going to the tight ends. They need pass rush, and he looks like he's rising up boards, and he's the best pass rusher. So I like that pick for the Tennessee Titans. And then the Browns. They also seem like they might not take a quarterback. So I think if they don't take a quarterback, they could take Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a two-way play, could play receiver and corner. The Browns could use that on defense and offense. They just need talent. And I think Travis Hunter is the best, one of the best all-around players in the draft, maybe the best, because he plays receiver and corner at a good level. Now the Giants, I think they take Cam Ward if he falls, because they look like they want a quarterback. They look like Shadar Sanders, but I think they think that because they don't think Cam Ward's going to be there, which they could be right, they could be wrong. So I think the Giants take Cam Ward. The Patriots, I think they take receiver, and the best receiver is Tack McMillan. So I think they take Tack McMillan out of Arizona State. The Jags, I think they go a few options. Will Johnson. I think they would take. I think Will Johnson. They need another corner. They need a number one. I think Will Johnson can be the number one corner next to Tyson Campbell, and that's a great 1-2 punch at corner. Now the Raiders, since quarterbacks fall, I think Shador Sanders goes to the Raiders. They like Shador. They want Shador Sanders, but he's probably not going to fall, and this he does to them. Now the Jets, I could see a few options. I could see a tackle, but I think they take Mason Graham. They need more depth in the defensive tackles, and if you draft Mason Graham, you'll get that. He's a great pass rushing defensive tackle, a good run stuffer, and you have Quinn Williams there. That front seven would be crazy. Now the Panthers, I think they take. Some people have edge. I could see edge. I think they take James Pierce Jr. I like Mikael Williams. I think he's more a developmental guy. I think right out off the gate, I think James Pierce Jr. will be great. He also has good upside, but I just think out the gate he's going to be a better player than Mikael Williams. And they just want a solid pick, a guy who's definitely going to be good for them. And now the Saints, I think they take tackle. Yeah, I think I can see them taking tackle. Usually I have them taking tackle, but that's what I think. Will Campbell could play tackle or guard. I could see them really wanting another lineman because Mike, what they'll tackle right now gets injured a lot, and they just need talent. So I like Will Campbell. Now the Bears, usually I don't have them taking a running back because they really need linemen, but I think because of Ben Johnson, they could take Ashawn Jeanty because he's the best running back in the class by far, obviously. And what Ben Johnson likes to run the ball, Ashawn Jeanty, you could do that with him. Now the Niners, I think they get Mikael Williams. I think that's a great fit with that defense. He's developmental, and I think him and Nick Bosa will be a great edge duo for years to come. Maybe the first year he comes in the league slow, but he's going to be great. Now the Cowboys, since they probably want Genties off the board, I think they take Luther Burden, receiver out of Missouri. He's a good receiver, and I think that he'll be a great fit next to CeeDee Lamb. And now the Dolphins are so happy that Kevin Banks Jr. falls. They need a tackle. I think they take Kevin Banks Jr. out of Texas. He's one of the best tackles in the draft. He's going to probably play tackle, and they need a right tackle. Or he can play guard. They need guards. They just need offensive linemen, and they are ecstatic if he falls. Now the Colts, I think they take Malachi Starks or Tyler Warren. And this is tough because they could use a safety because the guy's hitting free agency. But I think they take Tyler Warren, fix that, make that offense as good as possible for Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson to see if those two guys are the guys. If they're not, the next season you could draft a quarterback. Because if you have Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman Jr., and Adonai Mitchell, Josh Downs, and Alec Pierce at receiver, and Tyler Warren at tight end, and the offensive line isn't bad, and you still can't produce, that's on you. So I like that pick for the Titans. Now the Falcons, I think they take edge. They have good safeties, and there was still some great edges here. Let's look. Because they really need defense. They really need edge rushers. I think they take. Yeah, I think take Mike Green out of what's it called? Marshall. Mike Green out of Marshall. He's a great talent, and I think he's moving up draft boards. And I think he'll be a great edge rusher for the Falcons, next to Matthew Judon or whoever else they have, because it's bad. Now the Cardinals. I still don't see in this Malachi Sykes falling because I don't see where he would go. I don't think he go to the Cardinals. I think they would take Jalen Walker because he could rush the passer, he could cover. He is an all around player, and the Cardinals just need people. They need guys who can rush the passer and play coverage, and they just need a defensive help. So I think that's a great fit for them. And I know Malachi Stark's here, and maybe the Bengals should take him, but I really think because of their new defensive coordinator is from Notre Dame, I think they take Benjamin Morrison. He is from Notre Dame. The offensive coordinator knows. The defense coordinator knows him, obviously. He coached him in Notre Dame, and I think that's a great fit. And their corners aren't the best. Now the Seahawks, they need to take a lineman. I think Josh Simmons could play tackle, he could play guard. And maybe they go with Malachi Starks if he falls. Because the GM did say they don't value guards and tackles, and they draft like that. They don't really draft guards and tackles in the first round. They don't pay big money to them. Oh, guards, I mean, not tackles. So, yeah. I think Josh Simmons can play guard, tackle. Maybe they go Malachi Stark, but they have good safeties. So, they just really need linemen. And now the Bucks. And I think they could take receiver. I think they take corner. So, I still don't see safety here. They have good safeties. So, I kind of like their safety unit. So I think if there's Benjamin Morrison would have been great here because they do badly need corners. Maybe I'm gonna have him taking Texas corner Jade Barron. He is a good corner, and I have him taking a Mikem Abukum sometimes. Here I have him taking a corner at Texas because I think he's a great fit with the Bucks, and they just really need corners. Now the Broncos. They don't need safety. Yeah, they probably want to see if Malachi Starks falls past the Colts. I don't know who would take him because the Broncos have a good defense and they need offense. And I think Ikem Abukum is a great pick here because they need a receiver. They can use a slot guy, and that's who Ikem Abukum is. Now the Steelers, they could use defensive help in safeties, but their offense is really bad. So I think they take receiver Matthew Gordon. They need another receiver. They wish Ikem Abukum fell. He would have been a great pick here. But I think they take Matthew Gordon, Texas. Some people think he's going to go before Isaiah Bond, and he's flying up draft board. So I think they take him here. Now the Chargers, I think, is a perfect fit. Corson Loveland. They need another weapon. All the receivers to go just one before your pick. And Michigan guy. Jim Harbaugh coached him in Michigan, so yeah, I think that's a great pick. Now the Packers. They don't need safety. They need defense, though. I think they could take edge because there's good edge rushers here. I think they take Nick Sorton out of Texas A&M. Great pick. And I think they need edge, and they get edge. And then the Vikings. Malachi Stark's fallen way too far. This is where he goes. The Vikings could use help on defense. Their safeties aren't the best. Harrison Smith's going up there in age, and their other safeties. All right, Malachi Starks play all over the field. He'll be great for Brian Flores because it doesn't look like he's going to get a head coaching job. Now the Texans, they need linemen, and they love that Tyler Booker out of Alabama's here. I think they take him. He's a great guard, and it'll help their offensive line a ton. Now the Rams, they could use defense, but their defensive line looked pretty damn solid when they were playing with all the young guys. They don't have a lot of need. I can see them trading out of this pick. I don't usually do trades. I can see a tackle or a corner. I think they take East Carolina corner Revel. I think he's a great corner. and the Rams really need some more pieces in the secondary. I think that he could be it. Now the Ravens, uh, I don't know. Their defense wasn't great. I guess, yeah, I think edge. They could use Sean Stewart, I think, out of Texas A&M. Another guy. He's a great edge rusher. He fits what the Ravens want to do. Rushing the passer, create some looks, and try to get to the quarterback so the corners don't have to do much. They need corner, but there's not many good corners left. So now the Lions. I like Jack Sawyer here. He's the best corner left, and the best edge rusher left, sorry, and they really need edge. So I like him out of Ohio State to the Lions. Now the Commanders, they I guess they could use on. They just need more weapons, and there's not. I think I like Isaiah Bond, who's fast. I think he's gonna rise up draft boards when he goes to the combine and he runs a crazy 40. So I love that pick for the Commanders. And now the Bills. I think they would take defensive tackle. They don't have much in the interior. And there's a lot of good defensive tackles left. Like a lot. Like I think they Kenneth Grant, who also fell out of Michigan. I think that's a great pick for the Bills. Now the Eagles. I think the Eagles, they could use tackle, kind of. They don't need interior defensive tackle. They could use offensive line because they have guys aging. They have a lot of talent on the team. Maybe a receiver, but there's no receiver I would take here when you don't need it. So, yeah, I think they take a lineman, yeah. Him, the guy in Missouri. I can't say that. Amon Mimbu. He's a good tackle. He'll go into guard. I like that pick a lot. Now the Chiefs. I could see them drafting a running back because Isaiah Pacheco did not look great. And they've drafted a running back with the 32nd pick before. But they also could use defensive interior, and there's a lot of good guys. And taking best player available is usually a good idea. So I think they take Tyreek Williams out of Ohio State. That's a great pick for the Chiefs. Now, like I said, there's a 2-round mock draft. So the Browns, not running back. I think Nick Chubb has another year on his deal. They need talent. I could see them, since they didn't draft a quarterback in the first round, they go and draft a guy in the second. Nah, because I think they might want to wait till next year. So they need linemen. Actually, they could use defensive tackle. I think they teach Walter Nolan, great defensive tackle, and they do need that help on their defensive line. Just make that defense so good. Now the Giants, they could use running back, and that might be the pick. I mean, they could use interior defensive linemen, and like I said, they're falling. And you can get a good running back in the third round. So I think they take T.J. Sanders, their South Carolina, because he's a really good defensive tackle, and him next to Dexter Lawrence could do damage. Now the Tennessee Titans. I think they might take a quarterback here. Quarterbacks are falling, not really that much. There's a lot of guys who are like second round talent, and next to Will Levis, just a guy who might have some potential. Where Jaxson Dawes, I think Jaxson Dawes, people are telling me the third best quarterback. I guess they take him. Dylan Gable looks great in the Senior Bowl. Some team's gonna take him, but I think Jaxson Dawes goes to the Titans in the second round. Now the Jags, they have a few needs. I drafted. What did I draft for them? Let's see. Will Johnson, corner. So, running back, maybe. Nah, they have a lot of guys. I could see them getting a lineman. There's a few guard tackles who could play guard. Wyatt Millam, he dropped. Cameron Williams, he could play guard, play over the line. He falls very far. I think the Jags take him. Now the Raiders, they take the best running back available, Hampton. They need corner bad. Out of North Carolina, he had a lot of yards. He's probably the second best running back in the draft. There's a lot of good ones, but they need running back bad. And Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, so I think that's a good pick for them. Now, the Patriots is a tough one. They have a lot of needs. On offense, I don't think they take a running back. That's what they say the top need is. Like, I'm taking a receiver. I think they take linemen because they badly need linemen. I think they take a Wyatt Miller out of West Virginia. He can play guard. He can play tackle. I don't know where he played for the Patriots. They just need a guy. Same with the Bears. I'm taking Ashton Genty, and I think they take a lineman, probably Josh Kerr Jr. A lot of tackles can play guard. I think he can too. And I think that's a good pick for the Bears because they need another lineman. Now the Saints, I think they take quarterback because they could use a guy next to Spencer Rattler who is also development. Maybe not because I think they want to develop Spencer Rattler for at least a year. They want to try it out. And they have a lot of needs. Like they could use a receiver, and the receivers, I see him taking Xavier out of Florida State. He looked good. He's a second round talent. I think that's a great pick for the Saints. Have another receiver next to Chris Olave. Now the Bears up again. I think they might go lineman again. They really need linemen. Maybe corner because their corners weren't as good as they were the year before. But their defense was really good. I don't see what defensive needs. You probably want to take best player available. Oh, I could see edge actually. Yeah, I think take edge. There's a lot of good edges in this class, and in the second round, that's obviously still good ones. JT Alua, he has good development. I think he has high chance of development, and the Bears have a good defensive coordinator. I forget who it was, but it was a former head coach who's a good DC. Now the Jets, they need to take a young quarterback. I think they take Dylan Gabriel. I think take Dylan Gabriel. He looked great in the Senior Bowl, and I think he rose above Jalen Milroe because of that. Now the Niners. I had them taking edge rusher Micah Williams. They could use linemen. Could use defensive tackle. Let me see who's available. I think they take Derek Coleman. There's not a lot of great guards and tackles, linemen available, and that defense did fall off last year. So I think they just try to rebuild that defense in the draft and then sign linemen maybe. Now the Cowboys, I think they take a running back because the running backs are eventually going to be taken, and I think they take Caleb Johnson. He's a very good running back at Iowa. I think the Cowboys need a running back, so they take one of the best guys on the board because they have the worst running back room probably in the NFL. Now the Colts, I think they could use safety. I don't know if I'll take any safeties here. I kind of like Kevin Winston Jr. Yeah, I think that's who they take. He's a great safety out of Penn State, and I think that's a great pick for the Colts. They need more safeties in the defense. They have a lot of talent on defense, and yeah, I think their new defense coordinator might make it work better. Now the Falcons. The Falcons could use. Let's see. They need defense. Receiver, it's saying linebacker, corner. Yeah, I think they take Trey Amos. He's a great corner out of Mississippi. He's falling here, and yeah, I think that's who the Falcons take. Now the Cardinals. They need offensive line, and here there's a few guys. Not many guys at guard. I kind of like him, Eason. He's a great tackle / guard. He can move inside. I like that pick for the Cardinals. The Dolphins, they could use defensive interior, so because they lost Christian Roken, so I think they take Deion Walker. He's an athletic freak, and I think he'd be a great defensive tackle for the Dolphins for that defense. Now the Bengals, they could use receiver. They could use linemen, and let's X that out. I think they take the second guard, Tate I can't say that name at all, but he's a great guard out of Georgia. Yeah, Georgia linemen usually don't fail. And now the Seahawks. I think they could use an edge rusher or a linebacker, and I think they take Donovan Isku. He's a good edge rusher at a Boston college, and I think he'll be a great player for the Seahawks and that defense with Mike McDonald. Now, The Bucks. They could use receiver because last time I didn't have them taking a receiver. Obviously, they could use edge. I think I had them taking a DB. I think they take what receivers? Tez Johnson. He's an athletic freak. He's a little small. That's why I think he won't be a first rounder, but I think he's a good second round pick. Now the Broncos, they could use a tight end. There's no tight ends I would take here. I haven't taken a receiver. So I'm taking an edge rusher. Nick Bolton on last year of his deal. And there's a lot of good edge. Oh, Jahad Campbell, he's the best linebacker. They could use a linebacker. I like that fit a lot. The Steelers, I think they take a quarterback. I think they really need a quarterback. And there's a few guys here. And I really like them with Riley Leonard. Quinn Ewers, I like them with. He's a big guy. He's a big arm. And quarterbacks are going to go in the second round. I'm telling you. Now the Chargers, they need. I could see them taking a running back because Jim Harbaugh likes his running backs. I think they take because there's a lot of good running backs in this draft. Trayvon Henderson at Ohio State. He showed late in the playoffs that he was a great running back. He was taking over for Junkins as the RB1. So I think the Chargers would like that. A power back next to J.K. Dobbins because Gus Edwards is on the last year of his deal. Now the Packers, I think they could use a receiver because of all these injuries at receiver. And I like Trey Harris, a deep threat out of Mississippi. And I like that pick a lot for them. Now the Bills, this is hard because they have a lot of good pieces. Could see a receiver. They have a lot of receivers, sure, but there's not a lot of great receivers left on the board. So I think they take a corner because their corners want the best in the playoffs. They're getting cooked. And they take Maxwell Harrison. He's a great tackler. I think he'll be great in that Bills scheme. Now the Texans, I think they go receiver. They need more explosive. I think they take Nick Nash out of Jose State. I watched him play a little bit. He looks very good. I think he'll be great for the Texans team. Now the Panthers, they just need defense. I had them taking a edge rusher, so I think they could take a D lineman. There's still a few left that are all right. I mean, I like Sean Turner out of Texas A&M. I think he'll be a great player. Now the Ravens, I like tackle for them. Jonah Ave out of Arizona State. He's falling. He's a great tackle. I like that pick for the Ravens. Now the Lions, they need defense. Just defense. There was a linebacker, Donovan Knight. Yeah, I like Donovan Knight Jr. He's a great linebacker out of South Carolina. And just make that defense so much better. Just add people because they have a lot of injury-prone players there. Now, the Commanders had them taking a receiver in the first round. Now, I think they go defense again. Or maybe tackle because they do need a tackle. And there's one guy, Emory Jones Jr. out of LSU. He's a great tackle. I think that'd be a great fit for them. Now, the Bills, I could see them taking a running back with this second pick. This is the pick they got. The other pick was the pick they got for. I forget all these trades, but I could see Junkins going because they like to run the ball. They have a few good guys. Just keep building up those running backs and see if you get a star running back. And this is a great running back draft, so I like Junkins for the Bills. Now the Eagles. They don't have a lot of need. I mean, here you're just trying to find talent down the board. There's obviously taking a tackle. And I think they take Anthony Belton. I think he's a big guy. It's a lot of potential, and I think the Eagles like that in their tackles. Now the Chiefs, I think they take tackle. Once again, they need a tackle. They're upset that guy went off the board, but they get Donovan Jaxson, who might be a guard. He looks like he's a guard, but I think he'll also play tackle. And they just need the best lineman. Thank you for watching. That's my 2-round mock draft. Hope you enjoyed. And like if you like the video, comment if you disagree with any of the picks, and hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.